Season 7 is here, and so are the patch notes that probably have you thinking, did anything change? Not really, but let's not waste any time and get right into the list. The D tier characters are those that still just kinda suck. I can't think of a worse tank than Ball right now alongside Hog. These characters are downright awful right now, and you were better off playing literally anything else. Maybe the mid-season change to Roadhog will change things, but until that happens, this is what we got. C tier kind of shares the same sentiment, except you aren't going to insta-lose as hard picking these characters. When Ramatra did get his buff, it isn't enough considering Sigma was dominant on the last patch and received no changes whatsoever. Looking at the other characters here, Pharah and Mercy crumble over all of their counters being incredibly strong, and D.Va is so situational to the point that you just aren't going to be consistent. The same goes for Widowmaker. The emphasis on shield break makes Widow strong only on maps like Havana, Junkertown, and Circuit Royale. It'll all make more sense when we move into the B tier. This is when things get pretty interesting. Arisa moves down from the top of the lineup to the average tier simply because players are starting to crack her code, but also because she got her gold nerfs. The same applies for characters like Torbjorn that were really strong before, but I am not sure if I can advocate for them to be meta per se. Sombra is really interesting though, because her playstyle is now something we have never seen before, like a hybrid between Genji's front-loaded kit compared to Tracer's unrelenting uptime. I don't think she has the strength now to dictate the meta, but picking her up for ranked doesn't seem like a straight-up throw. This might be generous, but I always love when characters switch up the game. Lifeweaver is also super interesting here. He is finally seeing some genuine playtime over Brig on maps like Watchpoint Gibraltar and can have more impact in lower ranks if the player is really strong with his kit. I think he is so strong to the point that I'm actually starting to cook an updated guide for him, so stay in tune for that. Aside from Lifeweaver, Lucio has also dropped a bit just because the tanks that want the speed boost aren't quite as prevalent. I still think you can get away with running Brawl compositions in ranked, they just aren't as consistent as they used to be with the nerfs across the board. After we approach the A tier picks, things are starting to look pretty familiar. These are all very strong heroes that can be switched around depending on the map and the situation. Brigitte is a borderline must pick, with the exception of only a couple of maps, and Sojourn and Soldier absolutely dominate the latter situation. They are incredibly self-sufficient and do a fine job prolonging the fight like the Sigma wants to. Tracer does a great job at harassing angles if you're going for that kind of playstyle, and Echo has always been a good pick in ladder due to her incredible versatility and damage. Alori quite honestly might be a better pickup for ranked than Briggs simply because you can get more done yourself, but it is difficult for a lot of players to pick her up, so there is a risk to that reward. Bastion and Hanzo both complement each other in terms of the shield break they provide for the team, and even though Mei was changed, her ability to cut off a player from their team is unmatched, alongside her crazy survivability if teams try to run an off-meta composition with the Doomfist that is relatively common. Overall, you can climb pretty consistently with any of these characters, but the S tier speaks for itself. These are the characters you should be seeing every single game simply because of how consistent and strong they are. With the way the numbers play out right now, Baptiste and Sigma creating the space together is the way you will win most of your games. Not only does Baptiste have incredible damage, he also has incredible healing in an immortality field. Sigma's counters are incredibly weak right now because you can always switch to Mei and Bastion to just burn them down if they dive you. He is also the only tank that can truly play within a poke spam composition anymore effectively. So hopefully the 2 days of scrims made this list a little bit more effective, as last time predicting off of the start was very incorrect. That being said, stay in tune for more comprehensive guides in the next 2 weeks. Good luck in the climb, but until next time, I've got to peace out and Paz out. I'll see you in the next one.